Hello, hello. It's me, Jacqueline Twilly, hopping on for day 3 of our series of knowing your value so that you can negotiate what you're worth and not leave any money on the table. So, I am the founder of Zero Gap, a training and development firm focused on women's leadership for those who work in male dominated industries. And guess what? It's almost every industry. I'm also the best-selling author of Navigating the Career Jungle, a guide for young professionals. So you're joining us for day 3 of this series. If you haven't watched day 1 and 2, go back and watch them because you need that foundation. Today we're talking about planning to ask. So day 1 we talked about finding out the market rate. Day 2 we talked about knowing your value. So now let's get ready to go in and make that ask. Ask, A-S-K. If you don't ask, you will not get, okay? Flat out, plain and simple. So, before you go in and talk to your supervisor or that client about getting more money, you have to go in prepared. So, I want you to use an outline. This is a good time to head over to JacquelineTwilly.com and download the free negotiation checklist. So this checklist is massive, right? But it's going to give you the framework that you need before you go into any negotiation. Think about this. Every time a pilot flies, no matter if they've been flying 10 years or 25 years and they've had 10 flights that day, they have to go through a pre-flight checklist. So what I would like you to do is go in with that same frame of reference, that this is so important that I cannot miss any steps. That's what the negotiation checklist is designed for, to make sure you cover all of your bases and you're not caught off guard by anything. So when you're preparing, you want to look at who are you negotiating with? Who are the decision makers? Is it one person or is it more than one person? And are you talking to the right people? All right. The next thing is what's important to them and what's important to you. The reason why is because there might be a huge area where you agree and a tiny area where you disagree. You want to be prepared to think creatively and speak to why at the end of the day, that little area where you disagree doesn't matter because overall you're working towards the same goal. Now, how does this relate to a salary for a new job or a promotion? Think about this. You want more money, the company wants to save money, but at the end of the day, they want the job done. So if you can talk about how your skills fill that need for the company, whether you're a salaried employee or you're an entrepreneur filling a gap in the marketplace, you have to be able to talk about how you solve their problem. And that negotiation checklist is going to help you to outline those areas. The next thing is you want to be able to think about if things go a little bit outside the box, off track, and it's not going the way you planned, how do you get the conversation back on track? So one of the ways that you can get the conversation back on track is introducing a break. So if you're face-to-face, maybe take a lunch break or go to the restroom. When you come back, you say, oh, let's recap. And now what you're doing is you're resetting the conversation. If you're going back and forth through email, it's a little bit differently. But I would caution you to not respond back to an email like you're texting, right? Going back and forth. Because you're letting them know how eager you are. And while that is a good sign to express your enthusiasm, you never want to let them know that you're going to accept any offer. Because at the end of the day, you don't want just a good deal, a good salary, or a good contract. You want a great deal. And the only way you're going to know if you're getting a good deal versus a great deal is by doing a lot of research, understanding your market rate, know how to talk about your value, and know what makes you different from the other people who are competing for that position. All right, so that's preparing to ask. Again, go ahead and get that free negotiation checklist from JacquelineTwilly.com. And join me tomorrow for part 4 of our series where we're talking about know your value so that you can negotiate what you're worth and not leave any money on the table, because when you get an opportunity to ask, you should. So again, today's notes were from my negotiation toolkit. This is This can be found on my website, and it's a handy tool to help you strategize for your next negotiation.